So this is August 31st, 2014. We're packing up, getting things ready to go. We took Kurt's trailer this year for a base camp. Typically what we do is take the bikes out and ride 10 to 15 miles in, and then spike camp on our backs from there, 2 to 4 day rounds, and sleep wherever the elk are, and go from there.
Straight up on top of this dog, two bulls fighting. Oh, I see him. There's a couple of bulls fighting up on this ridge up there.
This is a beautiful morning, September 2nd. We watched through sunrise, watched a few nice bulls spar up there.
By the time we got over there, it's going to be lunchtime. Yeah, but we got to go a mile down and a mile across and a mile up. Can't get more of a pristine setting. Right in the middle, perfect middle of a mountain range.
Here's one of the many daily rituals of life in the mountains. Pumping water. I usually fill up my 100-ounce bladder, and then depending on how often we figure we'll run into water, I might fill up my all or part of my 4-liter drum bag and go from there. This morning we saw two bulls fighting. The third bull came and joined it. Then I was at daylight. Came out about 9:30 or so. We called in a few spikes. Kurt and Nate shot. Now it's about 5:45 and we're getting water and going in for an evening hunt. This is one of my favorite parts of the day. Wake up before light and make some breakfast, Mountain House breakfast skillet, good stuff, and Starbucks via coffee, and sit back and enjoy. This is September 4th. We had pulled out of the other area and moved the trailer about 10-15 miles upriver, and getting ready to go in for another round here. river crossing. crossings always make for an interesting time. We run about a 60+ pound pack. We usually run moto boots and stuff, so we got all our hunting boots and gear in the pack. Usually our actual hunting pack weights are running in the 45 pound range. So this is September 6th. We're heading into yet another area. I didn't get really any footage from the last one of actual hunting, but as many of you know, when you're up in the mountains for a couple weeks, it's full of highs and lows and emotions up and down and bad times, good times. So this is one of the bad times. We had, as you'll see here after a little while, this is kind of a tough little trail heading up here, pretty steep pass, but Kurt blew out his radiator hose, which put a bit of a kink in our plans, and had to run to town and get some parts, and actually overnighted some parts in, and went back and got them and fixing the bike. So we lost a couple days there.
There's no more radiator fluid left.
Serious?
It's gonna be a coast down to the bridge.
Fortunately, it's all downhill, or at least most of the way downhill. Able to coast down, and once he got to the bottom, he was cool enough to actually start up and run it back to camp.
This is a tough spot.
Huh?
This is a tough spot.
Fat cat tracks right here.
Oh yeah, so do I.
They hit their limit.
With some guys we had seen on a fat cat that were riding around. Looks like they came up to this spot right there, and kind of a tough spot, and couldn't make it up, so they had to turn around. Not a bad thing for us, I guess.
Yeah, I'll push it.
This is September 7th. We were waiting for Kurt's bike parts to come in, and we went to a spot more accessible on foot and got in and worked a bull. Got in pretty close to him. Got into about 60 yards and hit him in his cows and just couldn't get a shot. But good time working him.
That's why there's so much deadfall. What? So much deadfall down there. This bear trail.
This is always a game of chess. You hear a bull, and it's a little hard to judge where he's at and how far away he is. And you move in, you don't know how far to move in and call again, and you don't know if he's moved in and he's watching you or going to see you moving, but it's all part of the fun. Just trying to get as close as you can and call and see where he's at.
Go over there and I'll call.
So we pulled out of that spot and moved to another, hiked into another area, and it was good.
So it's about 10 o'clock here on Wednesday, September 10th. And Kurt and I got into these bowls. We heard bugles, fighting, horns crashing, trees breaking, and we got into them last night, bugled a little bit, took a bowl and lost him, so we stayed up here on this bench. And about 30 minutes ago I arrowed a 5-point, about 48 yards, so go down and check them out. No calls, we just snuck in on them, stealthed in on them and arrowed them. We had dropped our packs about probably, ended up being about 200 or 300 yards above where I ended up shooting them. I was waiting back in there, and I came out here, right here, came sneaking down through these trees, just like this. I could hear it crashing over there. Over there. I actually came around that side of the tree right there, came down here. So I was coming right in here. I stopped right here, and I saw a cow right down between those trees, about 20 yards, 30, 40 yards maybe, where that leaning tree is. Cow was feeding that way. I could see more animals over there. 5-point was right behind that big thick tree down there, the leaning tree. When I shot him, right here, 20 yards. No, at the one leaning to the right, and then there's a dark tree behind it. See that? Big tree, big trunk. So we got a big trunk and then a tree leading this way. So I bet you down in that grass opening down there.
Oh, way down there.
So there's a little patch of dry brown trees. Just this side of this is where he was bedded down. So 48.5 yards, he's laying by that tree over there.
I mean, you shot it from here?
Yeah. It's right in the middle of that grass down there where it's shaded.
That's where you shot him from?
Yep.
Holy crap.
46.1 right here, but 48.5. I'm talking left, over that log.
Oh, right there.
Not over. You bedded down right there. See, I was worried about those limbs a little bit, so you bedded down.
Why was your arrow over the limbs?
They're just perfect.
So I had a great shooting lane at 48 yards, in that 40, probably 46 to 55 range, somewhere in there. And I was worried about some little bit low-hanging branches there, but thought it would be okay. Anyways, the bull walked into that shooting lane. Everything was looking good, broadside. I drew back, ready to release, and it shocked me because he bedded right down. And I looked at him for a second. I was still drawn back, and saw vitals wide open. Everything looked good. So I just released, and I shot at his high back, right down into his vitals, and everything was good. Worked out good. He ended up hopping up. Didn't look too terribly alarmed. He staggered off about 15 yards and stood broadside again. I re-knocked, put a second arrow into him, another good shot, and then he ended up going down.
You see him, he's bedded down by that next big tree down there. And he's dead. So, there he is. He looks to be muddy too. A little 6 on one side. Bull on the ground. I got one on pie. See this?
That's your bedded one.
Yeah. That was probably perfect.
Let me look at that.
Yeah, it is.
Two of them. This is fun. Straight through. How'd that one get like that?
Sorry. He was,
So you shot him.
must have glanced out his shoulder. Into,
I don't see another mark.
well,
I know, but that was your bad one.
yeah, this is my other one.
Second shot. Yeah. So that one probably this one. This arrow here.
See, his leg was forward.
Yeah, it is. But that's the entry mark.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously.
Well, the work begins now. A little tiny 6 on one side.
There's that spike.
Heck yeah. Gotta work your way up the ladder.
Getting close on this. So today is the 10th, right? Yep. There we go. Tagged out.
We're on the second load. We got the first load packed to the creek. Now we're headed back up. I don't know, what is it, 800 feet?
It's about
700 feet in elevation to get the second load. Then bring that down to the creek and we'll head down to the truck with the first load from there. We're heading up out of Creek. It's, I don't know, probably 6:30 already. And it's gonna be a heavy load. The low road or the high road? Low. Yeah. This is what we're dealing with on the pack out. Deadfall after deadfall. Well, we made the ridge and we're on our way back down into the other side here. It's getting dark, but we got a nearly full moon to walk by, so keep on trucking.
We ended up making it back to the truck. I don't know, it's probably about 10:30 that night. As you can tell, I quit filming because I think I got a little tired.
Guess we're down quite a ways from where that.
It's Thursday morning, September 11th. We're down here at the trailhead packing in, get our second load. It was cold last night, it was in the 20s, so that meat was fine up by the creek, so I'm gonna go pick it up and run it down to the meat locker. We're at about 6,300 feet here, going up to about 7,800 feet to get the meat. Probably be, I don't know, 3.5 miles each way. A little brush hogging.
there's technically a trail here. Well, there's a trail on the map at least, but there's really only a thread of trail. I mean, most of it's stuff like this, working over rocks and boulders, and crosses the creek about 10 times, and you know, it's kind of one of those trails that doesn't get used a whole lot. So, well, this makes for a good walk through this stuff.
We might need some ropes pretty soon. Well, we just got back to the meet up here. It's about 2.6 miles, and it took us about 2 hours. It's pretty rough going, not a ton of trail. Ready to turn and burn back down the hill. It's about 1:20 and we're loaded up and headed back down. A different flavor.
You haven't had enough of the regular one. You get brush covered. Brush covered.
Back it up.
This spot can get a little interesting with the heavy pack on. It's a little ledge of rock that is really the only way out. It's kind of hard to get up onto and manage across, especially with some antlers on your back. Always got to keep things interesting.
Well, that's the end of the first elk out of the mountains. We may have one more to go. Or maybe 2 more. Got 2 hours up and 2 hours down with the meat and the horns. Much better than last night, but it's always a journey. Today is Friday, September 12th. We're heading out for another round. Got my meat in the freezer. We're in the hanging in town and see if we can go tag out.
You can see Kurt coming in the background here, right in about the middle of the screen.
That's rough.
Sometimes it feels good just to sleep a few extra minutes. This one, we were in a good spot to glass, so it wasn't really a big deal, but it's kind of nice just to mentally recharge a little bit and get a little extra sleep, especially with a view like this. I mean, you can't beat it. So this next animal, he was onto us right from the start. I don't remember if he saw us or something wasn't right for him, but I mean, he was barking at us right off the bat, so we basically just were, you know, giving it all we had just to try to keep him busy, thinking maybe Kurt could sneak in, or just trying to, do anything we can. He stayed around and was interested. There actually were 2 bulls there. This is just a last-ditch effort of me trying to sound like a small bull with a cow, taking her away, I'd take off running, and just trying to make something work,
It's first light here on the 14th. We just got to the ridge here. There's a bull go up here about 500 yards.
So you just heard that bull bugle and chuckle. Now you see me trying to get Kurt's attention because I can see a bull coming behind him to his left, and he can't see it. I'm trying to whistle and sound like a bird and get his attention, but he couldn't quite get it. So at this point, we pretty much lose him. He sensed something was going on. I don't know if he winded us or saw us, but you'll hear him start barking, and then I just try to keep him busy. I try running away and heading out, trying to basically keep him busy so Kurt can maybe try to sneak in on him. And this part makes me laugh. Running around at, I don't know, 8,000 feet, blowing on calls, get a guy out of breath. It's quite the deal. So this is my September of 2014 in the mountains coming to a close. Sadly, this is the last hunt of the trip. We had plans to pull out and move to a different spot and make another push to get another bull down, but it wasn't to be. I sure am thankful for the time I was able to spend with my brother out there, this rugged country, chasing these animals around. In retrospect, it's really not the animals that are the trophy. It's the experience, the the suffering, the good times, the bad. Just really surviving out here for a couple weeks, and it's great to get some meat in the freezer and leave with some memories that'll last for a lifetime.